Hi, I'm Amy from the Unmistakably You Wedding Academy, and I'm here with Dave from DJ Alpha. Hi Dave, how are you?
I'm great, Amy. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thanks so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
Dave is here to talk to us today about 5 things that you should never do with regard to your wedding music. Why don't you take it away, Dave?
Oh, I gladly will. So there's probably hundreds, and the good news is that if you were to book with us, we can help direct you through all of those hundreds and make sure that your wedding is a total success. However,
benefits of booking with a pro, you heard it here first,
just
folks.
saying. However, if I had to pick out a few that I think could help anybody across the board, I think these would be the top 5.
Perfect.
So let me start at the beginning. I think anybody who hires any DJ should always get a lot of say of what they want and don't want. What I would recommend is within that is to, if you have a certain genre that you absolutely love, for instance, country or hip hop or whatever genre you prefer, to not just strictly stick to that genre. Think about the dozens or hundreds of guests that might be there and think, okay, just because we love gangster rap, should we do 5 hours of it? What would grandma like to hear? Mm-hmm. Maybe we can mix it up a bit. Maybe there's a great time for us to hear all the songs that we want at a certain time in the night or mixed in. But think about a little bit beyond the two of you. Who else is going to be there that would really love to hear some different stuff?
Awesome.
That's the first one for sure. Thank you. I would also say the inverse of that is don't let somebody else determine what your playlist is. So even if you're not a music person, you're not a music lover like we are, don't hand that job off to somebody, because inevitably they will do that. They will kind of pick their favorites and go with it. And you can do all the research that you want on the internet of the top wedding songs to play, but truthfully, when you get in that moment, we can help make an expert decision, or we can at least play a playlist that's reflective of your tastes. But if we have a third party kind of acting on your behalf, I found that a lot of times is that party doesn't consider all of the people there.
Right. Yeah. And that actually leads, I'm going to hijack you for just a
Sure.
second here. I often talk about do playlists and do not playlists
Absolutely.
with my couples. And their inclination is to give you 40, I must hear these songs. Mm-hmm. And then, like the 5 that nobody wants to hear, right? Like,
yeah.
Nobody wants the chicken dance, really.
Never.
But what is your optimal number of I must hear these songs versus please don't play these songs?
Great question. Truthfully, I feel like 10 or 15 really is helpful in the way that you'll get to hear them. And if you love them, you can prioritize, which ones you want to hear. If we run out of time, we don't have enough time to play them all. Yep. So that is kind of the sweet spot. I also like that because that gives us an indication of like, okay, what are they into? However, you're welcome, if you work with us, to send us 30, 40, 50, whatever. We're happy to work with whatever you like, but I have found that kind of is enough so that you get what you want and what you expect, but also, the whole benefit to having a great DJ there is to say like, okay, we're going to give you direction, but we want you to execute this.
And yeah, giving you 40 songs kind of ties your hands in terms of playing to the floor, right?
Right, yeah. We simply don't have a ton of time, even though in Canada receptions are pretty long. Once we get going and we try to, play what your aunts and uncles and your cousins want to hear is, when it comes down to it, we have to make decisions to say like, okay, what is the priority here?
Right.
For sure.
Awesome. Okay. Number 3. Sorry.
Yes, not at all. This is a logistics thing, and no matter who your DJ is, I think they would all appreciate this, is if you have your dance floor on this side of the room, don't put your DJ on this side of the room.
Absolutely.
And you won't realize that that's a bad decision until it's too late, or hopefully you'll have a wedding planner who can give you some great direction on that. But the truth is that when you set it up like that, inevitably grandma and grandpa are in front of our speakers. We're trying to turn it up loud enough so the dance floor can party. They're upset that they can't talk at their table. So put your DJ on the dance floor or right next to your dance floor, and that'll help with a whole bunch of logistics of the flow of the evening, and then also making sure that you have a distinct, this is where we're going to party, and this is for people who are taking a break area.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that.
Another one that I even cringe having to say it as a DJ, but don't do it yourselves. I know that there has been a few people who have tried that. Nobody's ever shared a success story with me of people who have loved that. Maybe I'm a little biased in the industry and nobody wants to tell me those stories. But truthfully, what I have found is people who try to do it themselves immediately fall into the like, oh, well, here's the songs on my Apple playlist or whatever, and they just plug that in and away they go. So again, you've got 40 songs that you love, not much consideration of what other people want to hear, or even the timing or the flow of how those songs should be played. So I can't stress that enough, that of course I want everybody to book with us, but
Absolutely.
If for whatever reason they don't feel that that's a good fit for them, I would say almost any DJ is going to be better than trying to do it yourselves.
Yeah, unless I've had it work okay a couple of times with a
Unbelievable.
really, really carefully curated list.
Right.
But
Fair
that's-
enough. Yeah. And I think you would have to A, be a music lover, and B, be considerate of other people, and C, want to put the time into that, right?
And still, people will try to hijack it.
Absolutely.
over
As
the
soon
course
as
of the evening.
they notice that there's some device over there that maybe they can go over and search a song, it could change the whole landscape of the night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the last one is let the DJ. And I think that sounds a little bit arrogant, but what I'm trying to say is that the whole point of spending the money to bring in an expert is to see what that expert can truly do, right?
Absolutely.
In the same way that I think you should offer your photographer, what shots you want or don't want. It wouldn't make sense to say, here's a list of 200 shots that I want from you, or tell your wedding planner, here's 200 things you will be doing. Is let the experts at your wedding do what the experts do. You're going to love it. It's going to be less work for you. And if everything goes well in the planning process, you're going to be extremely impressed with the outcome of it.
I couldn't agree more. I'm
Absolutely.
always an advocate of hiring really great professionals and doing your research and reading the recommendations and meeting with that person face to face to make sure that they're going to provide the services that you want.
Yep.
And then you can relax and let your day
Yeah,
go
you just
smoothly
put your
the
trust
hands
in
of the
them,
experts.
and yeah, you'll have a great time.
Well, fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing, Dave.
Absolutely my pleasure. Thanks for having me in.
No worries. Where can people find you?
Best way to find us is on our website, djalpha.ca, also on Instagram and Facebook, both DJ Alpha Productions.
#NoLameWeddings. Yes.